Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is true and accurate?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Jorde.
Yes, hi there. This is Brian Jorde talking. Can you please state your name?
Chen Beverly Chow.
And Ms. Chow, do you own land in Dickinson County, Iowa that Summit Carbon Solutions is targeting for its hazardous proposed pipeline?
Yes.
And in this matter, did you cause to be filed a certain written testimony of questions and answers, as well as some attachments?
Yes.
And if you were asked, ma'am, all of those same questions that you were in your written submission, would your answers be substantially similar today as they were when you wrote those answers?
Yes.
And can you think of any substantive or material changes or updates that are necessary to make at this time?
Not much.
All right, thank you. With that, I would offer Exhibit 121.
Are there objections?
No objections.
Seeing no objections, the board will admit.
And Ms. Chow, if you've had a chance to follow along at this point, some other folks might have questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Taylor?
Thank you. Ma'am, do you own this property by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see the map on the screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does the red portion that's in the middle of the map accurately show your property?
Probably should be.
Okay. And the white sort of diagonal line is Summit's proposed pipeline route. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the route that you understood was the route Summit was asking you to give up?
Yes.
Okay. There are some buildings to the right of your property. Do you know what those are?
I have some buildings in my property. It's a storage space. But I believe those buildings is not sure. It's my neighbors on mine.
Okay. Do you live near your property there?
No, I don't.
Okay. How did you happen to acquire that property?
We used to live in the area, and we saw farmland. You know, Iowa, it's farmland, and when everybody talk about Iowa, we all automatic thinking they have a lot of good farmland, and I think it's a good investment to have. So after many years of coming here, we decided to purchase some. Yeah.
Do you understand that Summit Pipeline Company is asking the Iowa Utilities Board for the authority to take your land against your will? It's called eminent domain. Do you understand that?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
I think the objection. Sorry.
This witness's pre-filed testimony airs her objections to eminent domain on at least pages 4, 5, 40, and 41.
Okay. Mr. Taylor?
Okay. Have you talked to any Summit Carbon Solutions representatives about your land?
They called me multiple times. I told them very clearly I'm not interested, and I told them to stop calling me. But they keep calling, and they're not only calling me, they also track down my tenant there and bother him all the time. So, but I did state very clearly I'm not interested.
Okay. How many times did you talk to a Summit representative? Do you remember?
Well, I answered their call probably dozen of times, but a lot of times when I know it's their call, sometimes I don't pick up. Okay. So they called quite a few times, yes. Okay. The thing I'm worried about this is that they not only want to take it as easement, but they want us to give them unilateral, rights to doing stuff without my permission, and that worries me a lot. It's like I have to give up some of my ownership. They ask us to keep it convenient for them all the time, all over the place, and cannot have anything, objective to, stuff to, I don't know how to explain. But anyway, for my understanding, they want their convenience, but they want me to give up my rights to my own land, which I cannot accept.
Okay. Why is that important to you?
Well, we used to own farmlands in China before 1949, the communist rulers. Our family have the most farmland in the county. But when the communists comes, they took away all our property and our house and kicked our whole family out of our house. And my grandma had to live in a rundown, like a temple. And my grandma even had to give up one of the baby child, to somebody else, adoption. So I come to this country because I believe here it's a place that respects private ownership, that we have the freedom, we have the right to do what we want to do. For the board to do the eminent domain, I think it's totally unnecessary, because it's not for any public use and not provide any convenience for any public. And here they try to force me to do this easement, and I feel it's like I'm going to lose my ownership all over again. It's really devastating. I talked to my whole family, and we're all very stressed out for this. I think it's not fair to do all this for some private company, because they get some tax credit and then leave us for all the liability, all the inconvenience, all the economic suffering. So I'm just really against this kind of idea. If they want to obtain the easement contract through the loan, I can understand. They are business people. They want to do business. They can do whatever they want to do. But if they use the utility board to force the eminent domain on us, I think it's totally unfair. It's just not right. And for Iowa, the farmland is the most valuable in there. So keep it intact. It's so important. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And also, knowing all the risk, everything, and all these legal terms that the Senate put in the contract, I just feel I can't use my farmland that much anymore. Like my tenant, their children, they like to have some fun in the summer, so they park their camper on my farm because it's so close to the lake. I do not know the exact distance, but my farmer told me that is about a mile or so. So it's a walking distance. So the kids every summer, they have a lot of fun there. So I feel this is going to rob away their fun because if this pipeline is put in place, I'm not going to let them play there because, it's too dangerous. I have too much liability for this. And then, like if I want to do some improvement for the land, I will hesitate because, number one, they may interfere with the pipe. And number two, anything on the ground maybe interfere with their operation. Number three, it could be, the things that they are saying, it's not even for sure. It's approximate location. So it could be, they can change in their mind or do different location. So, all these kind of things will hinder me from doing more development. And also, for this land, they have a lot of old tires from the 50s and 60s, and I don't even have map for those tires. I'm very sure if they do the pipeline through will destroy some of it. And I just recently, in 2017 or so, I put more tiles in this land. And the farmer even talked to me more about putting more tiles in the different location. So this is all going to be problem. And also, our family, now the kids are grown up, we were thinking about maybe building a small farmhouse there for family retreat. That would definitely, if the pipeline is there, they're definitely out of the question. I won't be able to do it. And if for some reason I want to do CRP, I can't do it. And then for some reason, if the kids don't want to manage the farm, if I want to donate this to the state or county to convert into a public park, to carry on our family name there, I probably won't be able to do it either because of this pipeline. So there's a lot of issues related to that.
Okay. Have you discussed any of that with anybody from Summit?
No. I told them since they go through my corner, my land with corner only, I say, is it possible you talk to the engineer and then, don't have to go through mine. Just make that line straight.
Okay.
So they never get back to me.
So Summit would not discuss any alternative route with you?
No.
Okay. And did you suggest an alternative route to anybody from Summit?
No, I did not. I just said maybe they can bypass my mind. I didn't suggest which way they should go. I didn't suggest that way. I think the pipeline is totally a mistake to do. Because there's a lot of hazardous things and very dangerous for people who live there. I have a neighbor, Vicky. They live on the farm next to my land. I talked to her a few times. She doesn't have the pipeline go through her property, but it's so close to her. She's very concerned. And I understand that because I did a little bit of research and I talked to my son, who's an engineer, and we just very concerned about the safety of this thing. Some have never had experience doing this kind of thing before, and it's all man-made pipe, stuff like that. And not only that, they want to transport this in supercritical condition, which I put in my pre-testimony. And this, I do want to talk a little bit about it.
Well, let me ask you a question first, can I? So, you've talked to your son, who's an engineer, about the nature of the CO2 that's in the pipeline?
Right.
Okay. What kind of an engineer is he?
Oh, he's an electric engineer, but he's very good with a lot of this kind of technical things, and I like to talk to him about it. And he's very interested in the farming operation stuff, and he said maybe he'll learn stuff and later on manage the farm.
Okay.
So the supercritical thing is very tricky. It's between gas and the liquid. And the thing, I am not expert, but I just want to kind of let people have a little bit idea about this. This is not that hard to understand. In order to reach this supercritical condition, they have to have certain temperature and certain pressure. And the temperature, I put on my on this. It says 304. It's a 304.1 K. That K is Kelvin. It's not Fahrenheit.
Objection.
So if I
Go ahead,
convert,
state the objection.
It's twofold. One, to the narrative response to the question, what kind of engineer is he? Two, the witness has indicated she's not an expert on this issue. There is, however, a great deal of expert witness testimony on this issue in the record as a result of the stipulation between Summit and the Jorde landowners related to some of the Jorde landowners' expert witnesses.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, go ahead.
I'll ask a different question.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Taylor. Thank you.
So, based on what you have learned, you have concerns about the safety of the CO2 in the pipeline? Is that correct?
very true. Yeah, they need to maintain at least 1,070 psi. Okay, in the pipe all the time, all the way through the pipeline. Okay, and the 78 Fahrenheit degree all the time, anytime, all the point. Okay, now people probably don't have idea what PSI is. That's pound force per square feet.
Ma'am, just a minute.
I'll renew my objection.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Taylor.
Ma'am, the objection is that all of this is in your pre-filed testimony, and we don't need to.
Okay, I will say one thing that's not in it. Okay,
Okay.
So this is a 1,070, right? And people have no idea what 1,000 is. I just give you one example. Okay, the pressure cooker we have at home, the standard American pressure cooker only have a 15 psi. This is a 1,070. Okay, when we all know if pressure cooker opened up, if it didn't release the pressure valve, just opened up, everything will shoot up to the ceiling. And imagine 1,070, how much pressure is there. If there's anything happened to that pipe that's not very goodly made, or over the time that's rotten and or anything deteriorated, this will explosively rupture. It's not just leaking. This is explosively rupture, and it will release everything into the atmosphere very quickly and very, very densely. And that's the danger of it. And that anybody who in that area will suffer the agonizing death. And not only that, the rescue team cannot go there because it's dangerous for everybody to be nearby.
Okay. Have so you're concerned about the safety of the pipeline? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, Mr. Jorde for redirect.
Ma'am, you had mentioned that you had wondered why they couldn't go around, but didn't specifically provide them, being Summit, a specific reroute. Do you have one in mind, such as being further to the west of your property, or do you have any thoughts on a reroute?
I didn't, because I think the whole idea is wrong. If I don't want to have it in my land because it's dangerous, I kind of don't want to push to somebody else. It's dangerous also. So this is very hard decision to make. That's why I didn't do this, because I do not know what to say. Push to anybody will be still wrong to do it. So that's why.
Yeah.
I totally disagree of doing this. I don't think it's necessary to do the pipeline because we're doing fine now. Why should we do this? And also ethanol as an energy source, I don't think is that big of a role. Not now, not it going to the future, because saying the resource part, we have enough oil. Saying the cleaning part, the solar and the wind is much cleaner. And so the cost is going to be all not going to be gas anymore. In the future, in California, they already have a specific day that not allowed to sell gas car anymore. So everything will be electronic, and even the airplane now they're going to go for electric. I have family members working for electric airplane company. In that, I think the trend is going that way. We need a lot of corn for feeding, and this world is need more food, and that's what it is. And I don't think ethanol is going to be play a big role. In my opinion, it is transitory. And why we do a permanent job for a transitory thing? And so that's why I think it's wrong, because the hazard, the danger, and because it's wrong, because I think it's transitory. I think we do need to have a vision, have a long vision, don't want to short-sighted for a tiny little bit money and a tiny little bit temptation of a business. We want to look long and far for our future, for our to keep Iowa clean and also intact. All these farmland should be really intact. Should not be doing all this kind of thing. There's a good reason for South Dakota and North Dakota to reject. There's a good reason for it. Why should we be the first one to experiment all these kind of things? We should not. We should maybe 20, 30 years down the road when things are more clear, then we can talk about it. Not now. I think it's too early to talk about this kind of thing. And it's not right to force on the landowners and farmers on this kind of, So.
Thank you for that, ma'am. I don't have any further questions. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Chow. We appreciate your testimony. Okay,
Thank you.
it is 5:24. We will plan on breaking, 6 minutes early. Give our diligent court reporter just a little more time. And then we will be back on the record at 6:30. Mr. Jorde, do you know who you're bringing up at 6:30?
Yes, it should be Winston Gadsby